Welcome back to Check Please, the D&D podcast. Previously, the party was on its side quest to get Lovette back to her homeland to check on her family. They were currently traveling towards the home of the Halflings, and happened to run into a caravan of harpy traders. I mean, situations like this have happened, but you're on a different plot thread, right?
The timeline diverged.
Sure, something like that.
Anyways, Soul goes over to help Karis move the chest onto the giant box thing.
Okay, so they load that chest into the crate, and then they ask where people want to travel. There's probably space inside the crate for 4 people if they wanted to ride inside. It'd be a little cramped and things shift around quite a bit.
Soul has a doofy smile.
Or one of the harpies could carry you, or you could ride on top of the crate and like sit on top of it and hold on.
I think Soul wants to sit on top of the crate.
Okay.
Wait, is there only one spot for on top?
Oh no, it's a big crate. I mean, it's almost, think of it as like a shipping container.
Okay. Yeah, I'll also be on top.
I mean, you could ride on top of it, because they can tie a rope. Because basically, imagine a shipping container with a bird's perch on top. Okay?
Cool.
So this rock grabs hold of the perch and flies with this whole shipping container. And then you guys could just tie ropes to the perch and then hold on to those ropes or tie the ropes to yourselves. And then you could ride on top of it while it's in flight.
Yeah, I'm going to tie it around myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we'll ride on top.
Okay. So Karis is not enthused about riding that far off the ground. So they're going to hide in the crate.
I was saying I was right inside the crate. I didn't realize I was muted, sorry.
Okay. And Markus. That is how they sound.
Oh,
that's exactly how they sound.
That's why I was muting.
Oh no, don't mute for that. That adds flavor.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. That just makes it all the more realistic.
Where are you riding in? Is someone carrying you on top, inside?
No, Markus would like if allowed, Markus would ride it like freaking Falcor.
How would you ride something like that? You can't ride on the rock. That's not one of the options, Markus.
Aww.
Either a harpy's going to carry you, you're tied up on top of the crate with me and Vera, or you get inside the crate.
Beardy, is it 2 days straight of flying and they wouldn't put me down?
Oh no, they would stop. They would stop for breaks and to camp at night. But they would still make way better time than you could.
Rather than like 60 days.
Yeah.
I don't want to miss seeing the outside, so I would have a harpy carry Markus.
Are there like holes I could poke to look outside?
Yeah, you could look out of a hole if you wanted to. That's fine. Okay.
Seat next to window.
Well, in that case, after stating your intention that you wanted to be carried, the harpies begin to start arguing with each other. And you don't know what they're arguing about.
But do I?
How long does tongues last?
I mean, mine's lasted for like 27 years.
10 minutes per level.
Oh yeah, then you can still understand them.
So I'm at 60 minutes? Yeah, I have a whole hour on this spell.
How long do tongues last?
Their word for, like, they're describing what to do, like who's carrying him. But since they don't know his name, they refer to him simply as the Pigeon Maker.
Oh no!
We are the pigeon makers. We are the dreamers of the dream.
Oh my god.
So it's like who
Soul's
has,
like covering their mouth.
They're like, who has to carry the Pigeon Maker?
Soul waves over to Markus and is like, maybe not. Maybe only 2 options.
And they continue talking, and they're like talking about like trading camp duties until eventually one of them finally relents. So let me roll randomly to see which one it is. It's Zarice, the blue one.
I like the blue one.
That's great, Markus. She doesn't like you.
I'm especially sorry then.
Wait, I looked rather confused at Soul. Wait, why?
Well, you're a pigeon maker. And like, I think Soul like instinctively says it in their tongue, too.
They all
so,
they all stop. And they all kind of look at you. And then they immediately start squawking at each other. Like, Why didn't you tell me that she could speak Saracen? Like, they're all like yelling at one another.
Whoopsies.
So what just happened? Seems very upset.
Slip of the tongue.
Boo!
Soul lets their jibber jabber die down and just like looks at Markus and is like, they don't really like what your race creates with them, is a way to put it.
So
What, they
Xeris,
would be cute and adorable, right?
so Xeris like flutters over to you and says in a tongue you can understand, "You're small enough. How would you like to be carried?"
Whatever's comfortable for y'all. I just want to get a good view.
Ugh.
Of the landscape. Yes.
No, let's see. Hold on. Let me actually just check. Let me check Marcus's stats real quick.
He doesn't
Maybe,
have armor.
do we have a chair?
Oh, Markus has an 18 charisma. Markus, make a charisma check, please. Not that you're doing anything active. This is a passive charisma check on your part. All right. So Xeris the harpy, now that she's closer to you and looks you over, she says she does have a place with a good view. She scoops you up and kind of like puts you like on her chest, and she tells you to hold on tight.
Oh man!
And she takes off.
Soul looks horrified.
So you're like,
Oh,
basically your head is like nestled between her breasts.
Oh, that would be a great look coming back to his family.
Soul looks furious.
Oh man.
So
I really hope that Markus is actually laughing.
No, Markus.
No,
would be like,
But muffled.
But muffled.
yeah. Alright, so the others gather up what they can. You guys load up all of your stuff that you can from the carriage. What do you do with the horses?
Time to put him down. Soul doesn't want to like have any part in it. They look really sad and they have their hands covering their face.
I mean, if they're still around, they'll come back and pick them up later.
Okay, just leave them.
Same
then.
with the carriage.
We'll leave like food and stuff.
Yeah.
Soul just looks really sad.
Yeah.
If I could build like turrets, I would totally set up a turret on top of the carriage to keep them safe.
Jesus, that would kill the harpies though when they come to collect it.
Well, no, I wouldn't set it to kill everybody. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it at all, because then it would kill the horses. They would move and it would shoot them.
So also,
What a sight to come back to. Jesus.
The turret sitting on top with a bolt in the back of each horse's head.
I call it the glue maker.
Beardy, do the harpies... You said it was contract based when it comes to the
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Really?
There's
Oh.
a contract that's negotiated ahead of time, and a price is agreed upon, and then a price is paid, and then services are rendered. It's very business oriented, actually.
Okay. So pigeons have no redeeming quality? None?
Not many, no.
Just like a real pigeon.
They're rats with wings, as one might say.
Yeah, yes.
It makes me sad.
You're a winged rat maker.
Apparently.
Well,
Oh my god. Yeah, can you write that down?
you got a 22 on your charisma check, so
yeah.
I think that actually goes a long way. So, anyway, she's going to pick you up, like I said, nestle you on her chest, and take off. The others will do the same, and the rock, once you're all loaded up, it will take off as well, and follow the rest.
I just imagine this bird with the head of Dwayne The Rock Johnson every time you say The Rock. No, the actual
Scorpion
head.
Definitely a CG head, actually.
Yeah. So, same one from Scorpion King.
Yep.
Yeah.
Early 2000s.
Anyways, so Soul and Vera are up top.
Mm-hmm.
Lovette and Karis are in the container.
Yeah.
Markus is flying with Xeris.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Xeris.
soul is.
Xeris,
Right,
I'm sorry.
Xeris. So you guys take off and fly to the southwest. You can see the line I drew. Once you pass a river, you continue on until you pass the second river, then you swing south and end up making camp right there at the end of the day. So during the day, you see, it's just some of the most amazing sights you've seen up to this point, because none of you have ever flown before. To my knowledge, at least.
Well, I have flown.
Yet.
Technically, I've flown on my own.
Well,
Just not like
yeah, that's
this.
true. That's true. Not for an amazing amount of
Soul,
time.
No.
I think, was having a lot of fun, but during it, they were whispering into their ear, telling Grow everything.
Mhm. Okay.
And Grow goes,
just imagine a microphone and someone has a fan pointed directly into it. It's just like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's really good. That's nice. Glad
So
to hear it,
mean.
honey.
Does that actually happen that way?
No, you're fine. It's magic.
Okay. Thank you. But yeah, no. They were like probably screaming happily half the time. They were just like, oh my god! This is so cool! And now they're back on the ground and they just look really happy.
forgot about your horse.
Yeah, I forgot about the horse. Trying not to think about it is more accurate. Because the less things you think about that bring you pain, the less you have to deal with pain. Yay!
Eventually, the sun goes low in the sky, and the harpies just determine a place to land. It's an area next to the river. It's sort of on a nice outcropping of rock. It's nice and flat, and they determine it would be a good place to nest for the night. So they land and go off to begin performing camp duties.
Okay.
So one starts going out to collect fresh water, one goes out to forage some food, if there's anything in the nearby area. And then two other ones build a fire, and they seem to have this sort of down as far as what each person's duty is.
I think so. I'll try to probably help if possible.
Okay. So you make yourselves useful, and they end up kind of getting into conversations with you all about, what you're up to, like who you are, why you're headed to where you're headed. They seem, somewhat friendly now that you've, paid for their service.
I'm pretty openly talk about the adventures that we've had, but I'm pretty cagey about stuff prior to that.
Okay, noted. Markus, they're making camp there by a riverbank.
Whoa, wonderful.
It's warmer down here by a significant degree than it was up on the road you're at. So even though it's still winter, like, this part of the country is seemingly much warmer, and the weather here seems...
I thought it was fall.
Yeah, it's technically fall. But it was chilly up by the road, and just, like, this short flight down into this other part of the continent, it seems to be much fairer weather.
Is it warmer than home?
No.
Oh, okay,
No,
interesting.
it's where home it would be like 73, 74 degrees Fahrenheit. Here it's probably 60, 62. So it's slightly too cold to be super comfy, but it's not bad at all.
Okay.
Where you were on the road before, it was probably mid-40s. So it's significantly warmer down here, is what I'm saying. So you're not sure why that is. Because you're technically traveling, like... This is on the southern hemisphere, so you're technically traveling toward the pole by going this way, not toward the equator, but it's still getting warmer. So it's kind of strange.
Interesting.
Towards the Mary Valley, correct?
Yes, toward the Mary Valley. So it's almost as if there's some magic in effect.
Would I get knowledge roll on that?
Nah, it's not worth it. So Markus, you land, and once Xeris finishes their duties, they flutter over to you and ask if they could talk to you in private.
Alright.
Does Soul notice this happening?
Make a perception check.
You bet I fucking will. That is a 23.
23. Yeah, that's pretty apparent.
Soul just, glares daggers at Markus. Specifically Markus.
Good old Marky knew.
Now, hold on. Marky would know of the contract.
Well, you were there the last time this happened when Biff showed up. I imagine you're somewhat familiar with the concept. So.
Well, yeah, I would. Yeah, I'll go talk with her.
Okay, so she takes you a little bit away from the camp, and she discusses how handsome of a halfling you are, and how she didn't notice it at first. So she asks if you would be interested in a breeding contract.
Ooh, that. Now I'm going to discuss this with you out of character, because.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so obviously no, because I'm married. Right?
Oh yeah.
Didn't stop you before.
Huh.
Well, not only that. Well, traveling with Soul has Markus pining for home, and
Exhibit A.
Oh.
One Telly Talbert.
Markus.
Supernatural guilt is a thing in this world.
Well, no, I'm just saying, if you suddenly changed your tune,
Markus
I guess.
was weak until he met with his friends.
Okay.
At least I don't want to insult them because the size of Mark feet, my mouth is small, but it somehow gets in them. How do I politely, I maybe say I have some sort of genetic defect that I really don't want?
So you want to make a bluff check?
Do it.
Oh, I don't want her to drop me next time we fly. Oh, God.
Be a tactician, Markus. What would you do?
Okay, now I only say this because I'm flattered. I would, if given my a different character backstory, I would totally go for that. Because that would be so...
You don't have a different character backstory, though.
I don't. I'm just saying, I would be interested to see what a little rock Skrewy would look like. Sorry, harpy Skrewy.
Pigeon. Pigeon
Pigeon.
rat.
Some sort of flying rat, pigeon monster.
Flying rat maker.
Hell to all of you. The hell with all of you.
Also, you're getting paid for it.
Yeah, that's true. There is pay with it.
Yeah, but guess what? That still doesn't make it nice. That still doesn't make it right.
I know.
We're being devil's advocate, Kurt.
Yeah. So Zarice will produce basically a pre-filled out form, like essentially a contract blank that just has like a space for each member of the contract as well as the agreed upon price, and she like hands it to you. You could read over all the terms if you like.
I'm not going to be rude and not.
Okay. So the terms are pretty standard. I mean, this is, like I said, it's a blank contract. This is the standard Saracen breeding contract. It basically says that you would perform you would perform duties to her for one evening, and in exchange you would be paid compensated a agreed upon sum of gold pieces. You know, that it's written in at the bottom, and any and all responsibilities thereof and forevermore are not on you. So basically, you would never have to or even have knowledge of the offspring that would possibly be created from tonight.
Yeah, in me as a character, I know, right?
Yeah, right?
That's that pigeon.
Yeah.
Don't you call my daughter a pigeon.
How about Pidge?
Okay, you know what? That's cute. Pigeon.
I know.
Yeah.
I know it's fucking cute.
Cute. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna say that I'm exceedingly over the moon, but I have that I'm trying to get back to.
Okay, you say that, and Zarice is sort of like confused as to that as a motivation. Like, she legit does not understand why that would stop you.
She's like, okay.
She's like, yeah, that's fine. She's like, yeah, so do I. What's your point?
Oh, you're killing me, Beardy.
Don't you just want to feel her shoulder fuzz up close?
I mean, kinda. Imagine
His face was already in her chest.
I imagine she'd be very soft.
Probably.
Markus, yes, Markus would, but Markus is...
Don't you want to touch? Don't you want to touch the floofy floof?
I would explain it as I already have a contract with a binding lifelong contract that in its clauses dictate that they have sole ownership. That's pretty much how I would explain it. I currently have a binding contract.
Gotcha. So that would be a diplomacy check. Nat 20.
Nice! Good job, Markus!
So that is a 20 plus a modifier of 8. So you got a 28. You explain in pretty deft business terms that you're already part of an exclusivity contract with another female, and that any dalliances outside of that would jeopardize half your assets.
And I'm taking that she took that.
Oh no, yeah, Zarice totally gets it, and they're like, oh, well, never mind then, and they put the contract away and head back to camp. I cannot stress enough the absolute zero emotional impact this has on her. Like absolutely none whatsoever.
You know what? That makes it hurt that much more.
Oh, that's so great.
Soul is by the campfire, and they're just waiting for Markus to reappear.
Markus like ruffles up his hair.
No, Markus looks
dapper. Yeah.
No, Markus is proud of himself, but definitely feels bad.
Feels bad, man.
Yeah, I feel
that
good
feel
that,
when
that...
no harpy GF.
No.
Markus would use like rage face memes.
I would say that Markus is proud of himself for
All right.
Maybe Markus and Lovette will actually have something to relate about for once,
Yeah.
other than being short.
So, we're out of fire pretty much. Has Markus walked back to the group yet?
Oh yeah, he steps back in from outside the camp, looking very proud of himself.
Soul looks so pissed off.
Markus just sits there and waves. He'd be
Soul gets up.
Mind you, Markus is thinking to himself that they would be so proud of me.
Soul, just shakes their head and starts to walk away, and they look like they're inspecting the area for landmarks.
When Soul's looking at me, I give them the thumbs up, like, yeah.
They look so pissed. They shake their head and they walk away.
And
they get up and leave that fire.
Now, to that, Markus would be rather confused and kind of trot past them.
What do you want?
Find out what's wrong.
What's wrong? You just went off with a harpy.
Yeah. Nothing happened.
Nothing?
No. Nothing. She also offered me a contract. She apparently wanted to have my babies.
That's good timing.
Yeah, kind of like that.
And Soul's eyes just grow wide. And did you sign the contract?
No. When that I was married, it was a non-issue.
And Soul kind of had a more domineering, standing over Markus, angry stance, and then they kind of relax. They get back to their natural slouch. And you're okay with this?
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. To see what a halfling harpy would look like, but not enough to betray my wife and kids.
Soul kneels down and puts their hand on Marcus's shoulder. I think it would be a very great thing that you were flattered by this, because you should be. And I'm really proud that you didn't do it. You've changed.
Well, traveling with y'all has given me things to think about. Now I have a path, maybe home.
Soul looks like they're considering something. Well, I've got a question.
Yes? I
feel like Vera wouldn't want to wear a dress or anything, so I feel like her being my maid of honor would be a bad idea. And they look like they're considering something. If we don't die, maybe you'd want to be my man of honor?
I'd be honored.
And Soul happily nods. I can't wait to introduce you to Grow. He's really wonderful. He's a lot better than I thought he was.
Oh, I look forward to that.
Me too.
I still get to wear robes, right?
No. We'll make you something. We'll probably have custom outfits, actually.
For you, I will wear not robes.
Thank you, Markus. I think that's one of the sweetest things you've ever told me.
Don't know if sad or good.
Soul gives Markus a hug.
Aww. Why, thank you. Tight squeeze. Let's go get back and get some food.
You bet. And Soul kind of tugs on his robe for a second before they get up. I was wrong about you, and I'm sorry.
No, you were right. For a while.
And Soul happily kind of squeezes his shoulder, gets up, and kind of leads the way back to the camp. With a slight skip.
So, back in camp, you see that Karis is sitting there by the fire, looking really, really pale. More so than normal, which is saying a lot.
Oh my.
Yeah, apparently the flight did not agree with her.
So, normally, Soul's kind of been noticing that Lovette's been really close with Karis, so they've been trying to, let them get to know each other. And so they see Karis like this, and they wait and see if Lovette's gonna go for it first.
Are you okay, Karis?
Yeah, that was a really weird experience. The ground shouldn't move like that.
The ground does not move. It's just
you know what I mean.
I know. Well, I grew up getting lots of used to sea travel, so it's similar, I suppose. I want to give her some sort of pointers on how to not get seasick, but I don't know any actual things, so I'm just doing it hypothetical.
Hypothetically, you give her pointers to help her kind of ground herself. Some of the harpies come back from their duties, and essentially they prepare a nice meal of skewers, and they have a bunch of fresh caught fish from the river.
Cool.
It seems that some of them are pretty good at diving, basically like osprey-style diving.
Interesting.
It's like they're able to catch fish out of water with their talons. So they come back with like a pretty decent load of fish, and they skewer them and put them over the fire. And they say they hope that everyone enjoys fish.
Oh,
Soul gives a thumbs up.
The one that's colored like a macaw sits up and starts singing to the party. They start a song off.
Oh, Soul's gonna play music to accompany.
Lovette curls up and covers her ears.
Oh shit, that's only a 17?
Okay.
Oh no!
17.
So apparently you were distracted, probably from the intense emotional pain over from Lovette. So you play a music along with the singing, and the other harpies also join in with the song. It appears that they have naturally beautiful singing voices, and they'll sing like this 5-part harmony with each other, and with your musical accompaniment. It's quite lovely.
Oh, guess what I'm gonna throw in there?
Dancing lights?
Yeah, that.
Oh,
An
okay.
aspect of Nightingale.
Oh, shit.
And I'm gonna try to sing along. Do I have to do tongues if I'm gonna sing along with them, actually?
If you want to understand what they're saying, but tongues is still active, so...
That's only an hour, though. I'd have to reactivate it. It's been a whole day, pretty much.
Oh, when did you cast tongues? Oh, way back when. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll do that. And then I, since I can, then sing in their language.
Okay.
Sing along.
Boom. 30.
Yeah.
Okay, so you...
What does
okay.
aspect of the Nightingale do?
It makes your voice extra resonant and clear. Gives you a +2 check on Perform Sing, so that's actually 32. So you cast a couple spells, and you sing along with their song, even though you don't know it off the bat. You kind of figure it out as you go. And by the end of the song, you're the 6th part of the harmony.
Yay!
They seem very impressed by your performance. The macaw-colored one, especially. She actually kind of flares over next to you and introduces herself properly.
What language would she be telling me this in?
Oh, she's speaking common.
Okay.
Vil.
Vilish.
Yeah. She introduces herself as Valia.
Hello, Valia.
And she says that, part of her duties with the caravan is entertaining both the members of the caravan themselves as well as any guests or people to try to entice them to make better sales.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, she's a bard.
Cool! Ah!
Because every 5th member of a party should be a bard. Everyone knows that.
Should be. So, Soul is all over this and is really excited and just chatting it up about music.
Mm-hmm. So you learn that harpy music is almost entirely song, like singing. They don't really use instruments just because of the physicality required.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But they do all naturally have captivating voices, and with training they can become really astoundingly good at singing.
Awesome.
Their music is all singing.
That is really, really cool.
The song they were singing was actually like a little adventure story song about a group of merchants trying to find their way back home.
Oh, that's cute. I like it.
No, it had to do with a storm.
Gotcha. It's really cute.
That's essentially what they do there. So they sing that, and then they'll also sing other music as well. They have a large repertoire of songs that they'll sing until the sun is fully down, and then they'll kind of all drift off to sleep, which for them actually is just basically going into a squatting position and then wrapping their wings up around themselves.
Uh-huh.
Like, they seem fairly hardy.
So I'm guessing the rock is a thing that just keeps other creatures away?
Yeah, nothing's getting near here. If you have a pet eagle that's the size of, I don't know, 2 houses stacked on top of each other, nothing's gonna fuck. I mean, it's an animal that eats elephants regularly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a really, really big eagle. So yeah, no, they're not at all worried about watch for the most. They're not concerned.
So Soul's debating on whether or not they should do something this evening. I know mostly everyone's gone to sleep.
Also, is Karis visibly, like, we can all see that she's sick? Like,
she was sickened, yeah, but I mean, enough times passed that her stomach's sort of come back.
Would I know any, like, vegetation that could help with?
Oh, absolutely.
Could I try to find some before, like, it gets dark and stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. Make a knowledge nature. Okay.
I hope you find ginger.
You absolutely know what to look for, so now the act of finding it. So go ahead and make a perception check.
Perception?
Yeah.
No.
Well, it's an 11. So sadly, you know what you're looking for, but you don't find those particular plants growing in this area.
Oh
well. Good try, though. Very sweet. So, is Lovette and Karis just a duo right now, forever?
We'll see.
Well,
No, I mean, like, are they currently next to each other?
Oh, I don't know, actually. After the song, I think Lovette would have actually gone off somewhere to be alone.
Soul's gonna seek out Lovette and just
In fact,
pull
I'm
off
going to the
that
crate.
fucking band-aid.
I'm going to be sitting back in the crate.
Okay.
cool. Alright, so Soul goes over to talk to Lovette.
In the crate!
Yeah, and I'm actually sitting there, like, staring at Archie's orb in my hands.
What you doing?
Oh, sorry. I didn't know you were here. I
I'm
can
everywhere.
clear out if you need to take care of something in the crate or something.
No, I came here to talk to you.
Oh, of course.
What's going on?
What do you mean?
Soul's posture and demeanor change. I would appreciate it if you were serious with me.
Well, I am serious about this, but I guess I should just do what Carrie said. Pipe up. When we were going to go down into those sewers, I wasn't just going to tell you that I care about you, but I thought you knew already. I care for you romantically, so...
Soul, like, kind of closes their eyes and thinks for a moment, and then nods. I know.
I thought so. I understand that I should just be an adult and move on, and that these things happen, but it is getting difficult traveling with you and seeing your smile each morning, hearing your songs. I feel like I've lost a friend or something more than that.
You never lost a friend. You simply thought of a friend as not a friend for a very long time.
Yeah, I'm actually going to start speaking in Elvish at this point, but I'm not going to change to the other accent because I have too many layers of thinking.
Okay.
I suppose. I didn't realize you're quite so complicated when we first met. Maybe I would have kept my feelings in check some. But honestly, I'm not really surprised. I always knew this was my least likely goal to occur. Because everyone around us, everyone we meet, cares about you immediately. You radiate joy and happiness. And I'm not good enough at that.
Soul walks over, and they want to, like, mess with something just so that they can mess with something, but then they're like, wait, people own these things. So they just are looking around the crate.
I'll, like, hold out that little sphere.
Soul looks unsure and then goes to take it.
Okay. It's got a lot to toy with. There are a lot of things to push and twist and you have to... You would have to be
not
very,
even
very,
thinking and
very
just does
lucky to
it.
do something wrong.
Okay, Soul's just kind of wiggling it around then while walking around Lovette. The thing of the matter is, I don't believe you don't deserve happiness, but in the end, I don't think things were going to work out with me, or anyone for that matter, very much. Besides, and Soul kind of like bites their lip a little, I live far longer than any of us. All of you are going to die eventually while I'll still be here.
Gnomes can live pretty long, and I could try and correct my previous mistakes and remedy that even more. Well, as long as I am the guinea pig, I suppose, then it is okay.
Soul does not seem to understand what that meant.
Oh, but it shows that this is not necessarily the time. I cannot shake the feelings that I have still lost you somehow.
Soul looks down at the object in their hand. I apologize. I never felt romantically inclined towards you, and I know that's not something that's easy to hear, but an honest statement. However, when I realized that you felt things towards me, I was giving you distance in hopes that that would cause you to maybe dislike me?
Well, it may have worked that sometimes, but I can't hang on to it very long.
And Soul looks down at Lovette. Why do you even like me? I'm a terrible person.
I will confess, a lot of these decisions you have made seem to me to be rather unwise.
Soul raises their eyebrows, and they look really kind of.
Well, I've seen you have so much, and not maybe see that all the time, but this decision that you just made may actually be one of the more admirable things I have been afraid of. But
Soul looks very offended.
But ultimately, it wasn't. It wasn't. You still a good person. I couldn't see those as great problems.
Please, tell me why you think my decision is horrible.
Is it horrible?
Yes. Why do you think my engagement is wrong?
No, I do not think that it's wrong. As much as it hurts to say that, I think that was probably the right call. I haven't met this man, but I'm sure there's more. Probably better for you than Siva. I just mean that you have, you told us that you ran away from school and from your family and duties. And honestly, it hurt to hear. You threw away a lot of opportunities that I would have killed to have.
Soul, leans down and looks Lovette straight in the eyes.
Would you have given up everything you've ever known or wanted to do just to sit in a house for the rest of your life and become a breeding subject to make one child that you can eventually force to do that in the future?
And they're looking back and forth between your eyes.
Now, if you fucking tell me that I am just giving up things, then you need to learn some more things about me.
Well, later, it wasn't not just saying that. I was saying I could understand there was more to you, but I did not know what it was.
Soul is just staring directly into Lovette's eyes.
I'm not going to make eye contact.
Oh, that She's probably makes Soul angry.
Her face is buried deep into her knees. She's just like, oh shit, this is exactly the opposite of what I want to happen.
Look, Lovette.
And Soul stands back up, but they're pretty annoyed that they wouldn't look at them.
I want you to be happy, but I am not the person to give that to you. You are the only one who can make yourself happy. Relationships don't fix things. They're simply a partnership that you decide to go into because both parties agree as such. It still won't fix your life.
I can't do that, though.
Can't do what?
I can't make myself. I can't forgive myself.
What did you do that was so awful that you can't even forgive yourself? You're a good person from time to time.
I hurt the most important person in the world to me.
Your parents?
No, they were already gone. She was the only one who was really there, and I was so foolish and arrogant that I ruined everything forever.
The past is in the past. It's time to move forward and take up what you can. Carve your own destiny with your own hand.
But don't you see that's why they left? My parents ran away. Why? I caused so much pain among us and our friends, and why I need to just go disappear.
Soul takes one of Lovette's hands and puts the ball into their hand.
Maybe it's better to start by talking to people instead of assuming they know things. Avoiding conflict doesn't always help, and sometimes it's easier, and I personally like doing that. But saying sorry might be the best stop. If you're worried about you hurting people, then that might be your beginning.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm not upset with you.
And Soul ruffles Lovette's hair.
Friends?
And I'm sorry I've not been completely honest with you, with all of you.
Soul looks confused for a second.
I meant to tell you about this before, but I just heard too much.
Told us about your parents, or is this something else?
Oh, no. I think that was a miscommunication. This is awkward.
Soul starts to get frazzled. Just like, I'm sorry. I don't. What?
But to my parents left, I hired someone else, but I ruined everything for her. Everything. Have I told you why I was removed from school?
You did not.
Well, I could have been sent to prison. My family managed to use what ties they had to keep me out of the jail, but I was expelled for murdering another student.
Jesus Christ! Soul, like, has a deadpan face of just, like, it looks like they're just absorbing this information, but they're trying not to react currently, and they're just letting you tell your story.
Somewhere, Karis nods, like, smiling. Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, that checks out.
I didn't mean to hurt her. I was only trying to help, but I was foolish, and more than most, I don't make good decisions.
Like, was this intended? You said it was an accident.
It was an accident.
Then that's not murder.
Well, okay, maybe Elvish law, or definitely the Norwish law, I don't know what the details of your terms for murder were, but the point is that I screwed up.
Soul nods. And is it okay that you're even going back to the Steam Isle if this is a thing that happened?
I'm not considered a criminal, but they're not exactly like me, so they never really did.
Then why go back?
Because I have not seen my mother since. I don't remember what my mother's face looks like. I want to find out.
Do we have to hide you while we're there?
I don't think so. I didn't make my departure a secret.
Okay. And Soul looks like they're thinking, we'll figure it out. We'll find a way to see your mother, okay?
I'm not concerned about that, but I'm having second thoughts. I think maybe I wouldn't want to spread my bad luck to them.
Soul's eyes start to slit a little, and they're just like,
we're already halfway there.
I know. I suppose. I may as well finish what I started for once.
like, Soul, like, looks like they're thinking over something, and then they look, smile.
I'm told that cold feet doesn't really end well for families. So perhaps it's just a feeling that you need to get over.
I suppose.
I mean, we're going there anyways. It's better to just do it instead of avoid it for your entire life.
Yes, I suppose. Well, that was not exact. That could be easier than you might think.
Soul doesn't seem to understand, but nods anyways.
I'm sorry, Sol. I don't mean to be a burden on you. I feel that I am.
And Soul, like, kind of rocks back a little. Like, looks like they're assessing things in their head.
I was worried once about it. But in honesty, you're still my friend. And I want to help you. I just feel like...
Why?
Why? Why do I want to help you, or why am I your friend? Which one?
Well, yes. Both they seem kind of tight.
I don't know. You helped me get out of a sticky situation when we first met, and although I didn't trust you at the time, or anyone for that matter, you were still very sweet and kind to me. It's just... I don't know. Families...
And, like, Soul looks like there's some other thing they're realizing as they're talking.
Sometimes people and families make mistakes, and they regret it for a really long time, and it's not actually healthy at all. And really an easier thing is to come to terms and just talk about it to each other. And families stick together, so that... yeah.
Are you talking to me right now?
Soul's head shoots up. Well, of course I am.
I'm not really concerned about that. I don't know. I suppose there is something else I should mention.
Mm-hmm.
If we go to these demiles, there are some people there we might want to avoid.
Avoid?
Yes, it's just a few of them, so it should not be too difficult. But maybe that is a thing that you should be aware of.
Well, if they find us, maybe we can just beat them up.
And, like, Soul just cracks their knuckles in front of Lovette.
I'm not sure that would go over well.
It was more a joke. I've just been trying to make you smile, really.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Soul stands up and stretches.
I'll be around in the morning. I hope you sleep well tonight.
I hope so.
And Soul walks off.
Alright.
Alright. So, the rest of the camp is mostly gone to sleep at this point.
You know what I'm gonna do.
Yep.
Cool. Another time.
Another bottle of wine down.
Another wine.
Another wine.
Another one.
Another one.
Another wine bites the dust.
There it is.
Alright, so that is going to move us to the next day, which will be the 18th of November. That day, pretty much as soon as the sun comes up, those harpies are awake. Seems to probably be something in their bird nature. So the moment there's light, they are up and going.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Yep.
Whoopsies.
What?
No, it's fine. Soul will come back eventually.
Markus takes his pillow and puts it over his head and muffles to himself, somebody throw a blanket over them.
So they seem to be aware that their guests are not quite as agile as they are in the morning, so they seem to be just packing up and getting ready, but they're not going to just leave you all behind. They do have an agreement to honor, after all. So some time passes, and eventually everyone is awake and together. You load back into, various carrying methods, and they take off and carry you the rest of the way to the Merry Valley.
Alright, that's good.
We're going to put you guys there. That gets you to the Merry Valley.
Oh yeah, talking to Karis on the crate.
Yeah. So you guys are on
All
your
back
way
here.
from the riverside there, south of the Zash Basin, all the way to the Merry Valley. And during that travel, Karis seems to be holding their stomach and braced against some crates.
Okay.
Above you here. Whee! Vera, look! Vera, look at this!
I see it. I see it.
Oh, it's distracting.
It's another bird. I get it.
And we're in the same visual height! Ah!
Meanwhile, Markus is riding like a badass.
Is he still being carried?
He's being carried this time by the arms, though. So talon to each bicep.
Business class.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got downgraded, fish.
Well,
Fish.
yeah.
I mean, it's still a decent view, depending on where you're looking.
Vertifer!
What? I'm just saying, you get like a nice view of the whole surrounding area this way. Before he was just like looking at tits. Now he can like look around and see the whole world around him. What did you think?
Alright.
What did you think I
I'm
meant?
not talking about this.
What did you think I meant?
Saying,
Mm-hmm.
So the conversation that happens between Lovette and Karis?
Yes. You find yourself in that crate, like you did yesterday, and Karis is leaning up against some crates, holding her stomach, groaning every so often.
Clarice, you
Yeah?
said if I needed to talk, that you'd be willing to. Is now a good time?
She kind of like looks at you deadpan.
Remember the
Yeah, I don't
D plus?
have anywhere
D
else to
plus?
go right now, I guess. So yeah, lay it on me.
Oh, well, when you put it like that, it sounds like I'm torturing you. It's okay, it can be another time.
Vet, what is it?
Oh, sorry. I don't know, I'm just so frustrated by this whole business. I just can't get it out of my head no matter how much I try.
Well, talk to me, okay? What's going on?
I don't know. I talked to them about how I felt, but it didn't really go how I imagined.
What did you think would happen?
Well, it was a bit lukewarm. I was not expecting that.
Doesn't answer my question.
Yes, well, I guess I don't really know the answer. I didn't really think they would change their mind, but I was hoping that I would come out feeling more wanted. But I suppose in hindsight it doesn't seem realistic anyway.
Well, you're a really great friend, and I would really like to give you a hug, but it's probably a terrible idea.
Honestly, I would be okay with that. I don't care if it hurts.
She kind of like squints. You're not sure if it's because she feels abdominal pain or if she's trying to understand you. Are you serious?
Sure.
Okay. She moves over and envelops you in like a really tight hug.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels really nice to like make a physical connection with another person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you feel, oh man, this is a good hug for about 4 seconds. I need you to make a fortitude save.
Natural 20.
Damn!
All right.
I'm serious about this hug business.
So you hug back as well, and she keeps hugging you, and another 6 seconds pass, and you sort of feel her skin grow really cold wherever you're touching her, and I need you to make another fortitude save.
All right. This one is a 16 to a total of a
16
19.
to a total of a 19. All right. You again shrug off the effects. You can feel her trying to like break off the hug because she's worried she's hurting you.
Oh, well.
And but it hasn't hurt you yet. So
no.
she's
Just grip on real tight.
Okay. She kind of like starts to move away, and feeling that you're kind of holding on even harder, she continues hugging you. Make another fortitude save.
Oh, wow. This is a 17 for a total of 20.
Lovette, you should stop this.
Okay. Thank you, though. I really needed that.
Alright, so you break the hug before you have to make a 4th fortitude save. So, first of all, goddamn, good rolls. And she's sitting there like, she's looking at her hands, and she's like, thank you. It's been
Thank you.
really long time since I've touched anyone for that long.
Thank you, Callis. It's the same is true for me. For less practical reasons. I don't mean to diminish the moment, but in a more practical matter, I wonder if these effects would occur on Archibald. He may be able to make contact with you. It's not warm, but
If you want to try it, I suppose.
maybe not in this crate.
Okay. But look, what I said is true, alright? You're a really good friend, and you deserve happiness. I'm just not really good at, feelings and all that, so I don't really know what to tell you.
Yeah, well, that is more than enough. Thank you, Callis. And don't forget to do the deep breaths. Close your eyes, count to 10. You'll feel much better.
She nods, closes her eyes, starts to try to breathe a slow rhythmic beat.
So while we're flying,
Yes, I still see the bird.
Soul's actually going to be just singing during it, but really badly, apparently. Because they can't seem to get air into their lungs properly.
Imagine you take a breath and a bird just flies into your mouth.
I rolled a 1.
Well, even a 1 is not that bad with your modifier of 17, so you still sing better than most people can.
I don't know. I usually consider a 1 as a true fail, normally.
No, not on a skill check. Only under very specific circumstances is a 1 not a fail for a skill check.
Alright. Well, it's the shittiest singing I've done in a while.
It is. It is the worst thing you've done in a while, but you can chalk that up to the fact that you're tied to a crate flying through the air. So, as you try...
It's just okay.
Yeah, it's just better than most. So as you're traveling southwest, you can see an enormous structure. You see this huge, twisted-looking tower. It must be 500 feet tall. It's really enormous. It's asymmetrical, and it sort of takes different strange angles as it moves up from the ground, and it comes to like a solid point out of the ground. It looks almost like a strangely shaped thorn that's erupted.
Interesting.
It's erupted from the ground there. It is like a dark brown color, but it also seems to, like, where the sun strikes it and reflects off of it, it seems to shimmer as if it's made of some sort of metallic substance.
Interesting. So, like, kind of yells over to wherever Markus is flying, I guess. Do you see that?
He totally sees it. Alright, so beyond that, you see a rolling valley filled with small hills, tiny ponds, streams, also like little windmills and farms that dot the landscape for as far as the eye can see. It is sparsely populated, but it just keeps going and going and going. So this appears to be the edge of the Merry Valley.
How tiny are the houses?
The houses are pretty small. They're about 2/3 the size of a human house. Most of them
So they're real small for me.
Yeah, most of them appear to be thatched roof, or some of them are even built into the sides of hills.
Interesting.
so that a lot of them are partially subterranean.
Hmm.
It appears that most people here have a garden of a fairly decent size, and the series of streams act as irrigation for little farm fields that dot the area. So the rock circles a bit until it finally lands just to the northeast of one of the smaller towns.
Soul unties himself from the top and just lets himself down. They look up and like,
You need help getting down, Vera?
I'm good.
Okay, just checking.
I was jumping down.
you jump down. Acrobatics.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You want to see
Are
if I
you the
can
DM now?
Is he gonna argue with me?
15 acrobatics.
No, if you're jumping down, that's fine. So you jump off and you land safely and with no problem.
Like, this is just off the crate, right?
Yeah, it's still
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Well, the last time I jumped off a boulder, I needed to take an acrobatics check.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
You land with no problem. You can
Cool.
already
With
see
style.
you already see a fair number of commoner folk beginning to gather. You see a bunch of halflings moving up from the villages nearby, with carts and wagons being pulled by ponies and donkeys.
All right. Soul's just looking around. They've got a wide eye. Pupils are huge. They look so fascinated because they've never been here, so this is all brand new to them.
Yeah.
They look ecstatic.
And everything here is made for someone 3 feet shorter than you.
So tiny. And so they're like tiptoeing
Oh.
everywhere.
I feel pretty cozy then.
Yeah, no, this is like first time in a while that everything's built to something to almost your height.
I don't have to climb on stools. That
It's
is
like-
awesome.
You're only a little short for this place.
But not very much,
But not by
because
much, no.
she is a tall gnome nonetheless.
Right.
I need to get my Shire music.
Do we know where we're going?
So Zerees hops down and says that you're free to go. We'll depart here in 2 days and head to the Steam Isle.
Soul gives a thumbs up and then takes one of the necklaces that they ended up just keeping from the Telic house, and they offer it to her.
Just like a pretty necklace.
Yeah.
Well, what's this for?
Just a thank you.
But we already negotiated a price.
It's just a gesture. There is
Oh.
no need for a return.
Oh,
It's called a tip.
gratuity.
Yes.
Oh. She kind of leans herself forward.
So that you can put it on her head, I assume.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I put it on her. I
Just
thought she was
genuinely
inspecting it.
No. She was sort of she sort of leans forward and puffs her chest up a little bit.
Okay. Soul puts it on her then.
There you go.
She looks very pleased with it.
Which one was this?
Zerees, the blue one.
Yeah.
This is a weird way of Soul being happy that Markus didn't sleep with her. I don't know if it's fully known to Soul why they want to do this, but I'm sure that's one of the reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I really appreciate all your help and going out of your way to, well,
Help a bunch of idiots.
But all right. She seems confused by your sentiment and goes about her day.
Soul shrugs.
All right. So while that was happening, halfling commoners started arriving with wagons full of various goods, and the other 4 harpies are happily hopping around, talking to them, and basically starting to barter for things.
Be salesmen.
Yeah. You can hear
No.
the familiar sound of haggling.
Oh, I love that sound. That's refreshing.
Don't get Markus wrong. He was not tempted, however, very curious as to how it would have gone down. Like, how does a harpy have sex? From a purely
Scientific
sci-
standpoint.
scientific standpoint.
That's what they all say.
That's how they get you.
That's how they get you. You're curious.
So how does this work? Oh.
Oh, let me save these pictures.
Oh, that's how this works.
Anyways.
Oh.
So we're now in the Marylands where Markus is maybe from, question mark.
Mhm.
How is
We're in
Markus
Maryland?
feeling now that
Well,
Yeah, great.
Marcus, you are around people your size. And they...
Other than just me.
what's interesting... Well, true. Now, what's interesting is, for the first time, you sort of blend in with the crowd, and all these people think that, oh, look at all these new travelers. and they're like looking at everyone but you. Because they just assumed you were one of the common folk.
Oh.
Especially because he just walks around wearing robes.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Does anybody else have robes on?
In the party?
No, in the village.
In Mary Valley, or am I just the weird one?
Oh no, a lot of them are wearing traditional like farmers' clothing. They're wearing commoners' clothes, so nothing really all that fancy.
But then again, it was Markus wearing something fancy. I think
no earth tone robes. No, not exactly.
Yeah.
So you blend in. You just look like some local clergyman, or possibly a hedge wizard.
A what?
hedge wizard.
What is a hedge wizard?
A low-level wizard that just lives in a town.
Aww. I thought you meant that my powers are
Hedge-based?
No.
No, like
I'm
hedge-based
really good
magic.
at topiaries. Like I'm
No,
good at topiaries.
no.
How is Markus feeling? Is he happier? Does he feel?
How is his evil soul?
Oh
Or
yeah, no.
energized.
So because you're finally around a large number of people, you sort of like get a little bit of a boost. You sort of feel more energized. Not quite as much as you did when you were in a city, but this is better than it's been in a long time.
So now that the harpies are more distracted by doing sales and stuff, Soul just looks at Markus and is like, "So, shall we go see a dragon?"
Yes, absolutely. And he finally caught his words. It's like, did you see that spire?
What?
Did you see the spire?
Spire. Oh, I heard spider.
Yeah, that's what I heard. No, I didn't. Where is it? Let's kill it.
I was like, Weavers? Oh god. Yeah, isn't that so cool? Wasn't it so cool flying above it? Oh no! Soul and Markus just freaking out about things together. And Soul like grabs Marcus's hand and is like, let's go!
Where are we going?
To the spire!
Oh.
Yeah. Well, first week before we go,
What?
we're in my town. We're in amongst my people. Let's go nosh first.
Okay. Nosh.
Food. We're gonna go get some good food once.
Soul looked insulted by how poor the word sounded for a second. Yeah. Soul like rolls their eyes, but in more of an endearing way, and then follows after Markus.
All right, we go find some delicious halfling food.
Soul is very uncomfortable and hunchy everywhere.
I'm making sure that Karis is not feeling too sick.
She's surviving out here. And of course, all of you are curiosities to the locals. Of course,
Soul's
like I said, except for
waving at everyone. They like being center of attention, so they're waving at everyone. Pretty much, if they like catch someone's eye, they like wave with both hands. They're very friendly.
Yeah, so they're like
chipperness of this place has picked up Lovette's mood a little bit.
Yeah, so they kind of move up, and most of them are here to deal with the harpies, to like buy things, or even just to look at the curiosities that they're bringing with them from far lands. Because like you know about halflings, they don't typically leave their homeland, so this is kind of like this is the world coming to them, basically. So this is kind of cool for them. This is something they look forward to. When these traders come into town. So a fair number of them, like while they're waiting for the harpies to have some free time to talk to, they kind of looking at you guys, wondering what you're up to, and a few of them will even like walk up and introduce themselves.
Aww.
They're not they're not wealthy people by any stretch, but so one of them introduces himself as Oswin Gourdbottom. And he introduced himself as a local farmer in the area. He's sitting on a small cart being pulled by a donkey, and the cart is filled with cabbages.
Gourdbottom.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oswin Gourdbottom.
Beautiful. Dad ass though.
Soul like goes over to him and they smile and wave and they're like, "Oh, sorry."
I said he offers his hand to shake.
Soul shakes his hand.
Oswin Gourdbottom.
Soul.
That's a fine name there.
Thank you.
So I'm a farmer in these parts. What brings you all big folk here?
Soul points at the spire.
Oh, going to see Zell, are you?
Is it coming to do so?
Not so much, but you know, some folk come this way for that.
We have here an extremely unnatural halfling, and we are hoping we could find some answers.
Which one? He looks around at the whole crowd.
Yeah,
brings
I
like
think I've
Markus
lost him in the
forward in
crowd.
front.
Oh, yes, there he is. That's him.
Oh,
Hello.
hey there, son. You don't look so unnatural to me.
Never judge books by its cover.
Sounds like you just need a hearty bowl of soup.
You got rock soup?
Soul does not look amused by this.
Well, not on me,
No,
boy,
wrong
but
kind of rock. Wrong kind of rock, but yes.
he like pats his pockets. Well, not on me.
These are my people.
They sure are,
They
Markus. Anyways, I was wondering if there was like a family here with the last name of Upside?
What?
Soul's not sure if they pronounced
Cupside.
Markus's last name
Okay.
correctly.
He taps his
Oh,
chin.
boy.
Well, I'm from Clay Hill. He points over one of the nearby hills to one of the small towns. And I never heard that surname there before. Could be from one of the other ones.
Other ones?
Other towns.
How many towns are there in the area?
There's a bunch.
Oh.
Just the ones that I'm just throwing out on the map now are Clay. Well, you can figure them out as you go, but there's a bunch. Each of these red dots has a name now.
Soul looks like they're debating on if they like want to figure out more just by doing their knowledge skills. But they look at Markus and they're like, look, I don't know if I should wait to like look for your family before or after we see the dragon.
The dragon may know where to locate your family. If you do not know each town you're looking for.
Beardy, do they have like a local historical library?
Not exactly, no.
Okay.
They've never needed one.
When
I can tell you why.
Why?
Just ask the dragon.
Because the
They have a
protector,
dragon.
the protector of the halflings, Zell, he has a photographic memory. He's super ancient, and he basically takes it upon himself to know every single halfling. So
Go to the tower, guys.
He knows them. He knows them all by face and name. He's real old.
So I guess we're gonna go see a dragon
so-
after.
Let me put it this way: dragons like stuff. Dragons own stuff, right?
He likes knowledge.
No.
He likes
No,
halflings.
stop stepping on my toes here. I'm trying to explain how this guy works. Dragons are all creatures that have a hoard, right? They all own stuff. They all collect things, and whether that's knowledge or wealth or power, they're all driven for that, right? And depending on the kind of dragon, that is going to push them down a specific path to that, right? So certain types of dragons are going to be more focused on gold, some are more focused on knowledge, some are more focused on power. And, usually those things come hand in hand, so you end up with some combination of the three. So Zell, like a lot of gold dragons, his hoard takes the form of basically stewardship. So he takes pride in having people under his protection. And the more people that he knows, the more people that he protects, the more fulfilled he is. It's the same thing with like a red dragon hoarding gold. He hoards protection, essentially, or
Interesting.
stewardship. So he's taken upon himself to basically gather all these halflings into one place and make sure they're okay. So he doesn't like force them to live here, but he found a good place for them to live where they'd be protected from the outside world, and that they would be allowed to live full lives with together out here. And he does his best to ensure their survival and safety. And he's also very knowledgeable when it comes to his hoard, as all dragons are. Every dragon of every stripe has a photographic memory and photographic knowledge of their hoard. Meaning if you stole money out of a gold dragon's pile of gold, they would know exactly how much you took. Like they're ridiculously, they have like a supernatural sixth sense about that. Well, Zell's the same way with halflings. That's his hoard.
Interesting. So after we have a lunch/dinner, a dinner perhaps, Soul
Who
does
caught
not
the
like
winner?
being in the building of any of the establishments. They are so like slouchy and pretty much curled up into themselves.
You can find a restaurant with outdoor seating.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. There's like a tavern/mead hall that has like a patio, and you can kind of like just sit on the floor. You can sit on the ground and still be tall enough. So it's essentially like if you were to sit cross-legged at the table, you'd be at the same height as a halfling in a chair.
Crisscross applesauce.
Well, Soul would be sitting crisscross applesauce. You're right.
Soul will probably do that. They've been beaming the entire time, past like being uncomfortable with how tall they are. They look really excited to just be somewhere new.
So the food here is bountiful to a crazy degree, which has driven food prices very, very down, like very low. So you can get, like, you go to this little eating establishment, and for just a couple of silver coins, they bring you way more food than you can eat.
Ooh.
Now their menu's pretty standard, like home cooking kind of stuff. So they've a house stew that they prepared that day, and then they also have like probably a shepherd's pie.
Okay.
Do they have stuff to drink? Is alcohol cheap?
Yeah, they do beers and ciders.
All right, I'm gonna get
pretty much exclusively.
That is not quite done getting plastered.
This is healthy.
This is healthy.
Yeah.
This is fine.
Yeah, this is good. This is good.
How much food and ale would 5 gold get me?
That would be more than the entire party's ordered. Like
Okay.
1.5 gold would be more than enough. Like, my God, no, you could get a filling meal here for probably 2 silver.
All right, I'll spend 3 gold.
Good God. All right. So they basically did bring out like mounds of food and drink for everyone.
Soul
Yeah.
looks uncomfortable with how much food there is.
I do believe they would call that a smorgasbord.
Mm-hmm. One of the old halfling women running the place comes out and makes sure to comment that all of you look entirely too thin.
Oh, I don't know about
Soul, like,
that. It just keeps coming.
Soul's looking at their stomach. Too thin? And, I don't know, Soul, like, looks really personally bothered by the too thin comment.
Yeah, the halflings seem to encourage you to eat up.
Soul's gonna just pick at the food, sadly.
Typical elves, right? Am I right, guys?
Right.
Yeah, I am right.
And yeah, I'm totally spreading the food around for everybody with the 3 gold's worth. I'm like, as long as you keep the ale coming, I'm happy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they bring you the biggest mugs they can, which are basically human-sized glasses.
Alright, I get chugging.
Soul actually requests if they can get tea. They're not sure if that's a thing.
Yeah, they have tea.
Soul will have some tea.
Yep. They ask if it's alright if it's sweetened with honey.
Oh, Soul claps their hands like, of course I'd love it with honey.
Vera will also get tea.
Because of the honey?
Because there's honey in it.
Like, can I
Vera,
have some honey, some tea as well, but without the tea?
Vera was afraid she was going to have to put honey in the beer again.
Well,
I'll get her mead.
Well, they have mead.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mead house.
It's fucking mead, yeah.
Soul just doesn't feel like drinking.
Yeah, that's alright. I wasn't judging you.
Vera's gonna get fucked up on mead.
It's like one of the few things Vera drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't think Vera had the wine that she was offered.
Soul's just kind of quietly sipping there and like watching everyone.
Yeah, the halflings don't really care for bitter drinks of any kind. They prefer their drinks to be sweet. So
That's okay. Soul's totally a sweet kid person.
They like honey flavorings and other sweet things.
Oh,
So
they ask about like candies and like desserts then.
Oh boy, okay. So they say you should visit this bakery in town, and they have a wide selection of confectionaries.
Soul is nodding very enthusiastically. So Soul is enthusiastically nodding and is like, I will get dessert when we come back from the dragon. Mm.
Oh my god!
Right as you said the dragon, too.
Yeah.
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 Is Karis eating?
Yeah, Karis is eating, even though like she's just kind of like picking at the food because her stomach is still not quite settled from the journey.
Yeah.
But she's doing her best to try to like at least sample cuisine from this new culture.
Gotcha.
I'll try to get her to drink a lot too, even though she's queasy, because I know she likes to drink, and I'm drunk. So I don't really think about
Well,
that.
she likes wine.
Yeah, but she liked a lot of wine. If they have wine and she doesn't drink the ale, then I'll try to order some wine.
We're like the worst enablers of all time.
Soul
Oh,
is
yeah.
just shaking their
We're
head.
the least fit parents.
Guys, do you think it's really a good idea to be drinking before we present ourselves to a dragon?
Markus has been sipping on wine, so just not going hog wild, but
Yeah.
very, very mindful of who we're going to be going to talk to.
So wait, are we going to talk to him today? I might have been under a misunderstanding. Oh,
Yeah.
I thought we had to the next day.
Oh, no.
No.
We don't have that much time here.
Okay.
We don't have that much time, but I wanted you to show my people's delicious foods.
So I was under the impression it's much later than it probably is. I kind of want to take some of that back if it's possible for me to do so.
Beardifer?
Yeah, what would you like to take back?
Just the insane amount. I'm still going to buy 1 gold's worth, but not... And I'll just kind of consider, most of it a tip. I'm not, expecting them to bring out a bunch of money, or a bunch of food. I will spend once we get back and people are in party mode.
Yeah, now it's a bit more of a serious, we gotta present ourselves to a giant fucking dragon.
Still getting a drink or 2 or 3 with her
Soul
meal.
doesn't agree with this.
But not getting hammered. Just keeping things underneath.
Soul looks like they've been, kind of messing with their outfit, trying to figure out how to look presentable.
What are you doing?
I just want to look good for the dragon?
Why?
I have a special question to ask him. I want to be presentable. He's an important figure in this country.
It's just another individual.
Soul's face is just the fuck? Okay, if that's how you feel.
It's a fucking dragon?
He's giant and could eat us in one nom.
You getting prettied up for the proletariat? Is that what you're saying?
He's not there to eat.
I know, but I want to look good.
Yeah, look, perfect. Let's go see a
Thank
dragon.
you, Markus. That sounds good to me. Soul finishes their cup of tea.
I have half a thing of port left, and I go, you know what? Let's roll.
Everyone ready? All right, let's go.
Let's roll to the tower.
To the spire.
So what jumped off my balls? Ow,
Jesus. Wow.
All right, so we start heading towards the spire then.
Yep.
All right. So you guys head over to the spire, and like I said before, it looks like sort of a blackish brown metallic thorn sticking out of the ground. It definitely looks unnatural. It doesn't look like it belongs here. It looks like it was created somehow. And at the bottom is a tiny little sign post bashed into the ground outside of a small door. The door looks like it's sized for a halfling.
Oh.
Oh.
There appears to be no other windows or doors anywhere on this thing.
Huh.
Maybe Markus should be the only one going through.
Soul looks really upset.
Tell you what, let me go talk to him first. Let me announce us. He likes us halflings. Let me go in first. I'd really hate for y'all to come all this way just to get barbecued.
Soul nods, but their eyes kind of look teary because they're unsure if they're going to get an answer from the question they've been wanting to ask.
Do you have something you want to tell Markus?
No, he'll come back and let us know.
Markus goes in.
Okay. I like that, I said there was a sign stuck there next to the thing. Nobody even said to read it. It's there's a signpost. Fuck it. Let's just fucking go in there.
Well, just Markus did, so Soul's
Right, no,
going to
it's
read
fine.
the sign while...
No, the sign
sign
the sign says halflings welcome. That's it. That's all it says.
Aww.
Oh, that's a good thing y'all didn't come in.
Not okay. Let me make sure the quote is clear. It says halflings welcome. End of sign. It doesn't. It does not specify that other people are not welcome. It just specifies that halflings are.
Yeah.
That's
Air
it.
to the side.
Yeah.
Air
So-
I would not mind waiting outside. I understand the need. You may have for privacy.
Okay.
I'm curious, but I leave
Yeah.
this to your judgment, Markus.
Soul, sits down outside the door and just is staring at it.
I don't know how we want to play that, Beardy. Do you want to go to a different chat, or do you want to?
Oh, it's up to you. How would you like to handle that? Do you want to be out here in the open with everyone else, or do you want to do this in the secret room?
You know, I haven't had a secret room version, so I want to go to secret.
All right, secret room it is. We'll be back, everybody.
Have fun, guys!
So you push open the small door, and you walk into this enormous mountain-sized tower. And as soon as you walk inside, you're enveloped in pure darkness. A moment later, there's sort of a rush of wind, and you find yourself in a cozily lit cavern. And
Yeah,
if you look around the room, you see that there's no visible entrance, so you're not sure how you got in here. Like, there's no door behind you.
Oh dear. Okay. I
In
call out.
In front of you is a well-appointed and well-decorated room with a long, low table covered in various foods and sweets. The walls are decorated with like knitted items, paintings, portraits, like landscapes, and also portraits of halflings.
Aww.
Little knickknacks in cupboards and cabinets, stacks of fancy plates, like just on and on and on. These tiny little
Essentially, gifts that over generations that they've given him.
You get the sense that that's probably what these all are just little things that the halflings gave over time.
And he probably remembers every single halfling that gave it to him.
Yeah, that's part of his hoard. So, at the far end of this table, this long, low table, is an enormous pile of gold scales, basically. Just this big lump.
Oh my. I call out, hello?
You see, like, some movement as this lump sort of, like, rears up and kind of, like, stretches out and takes on a more dragon-like shape.
Oh my.
Let me see here. I believe I can share this to just you.
Okay.
There you go.
Yep.
So you see this figure before you. You see an enormous golden-scaled dragon. He blinks a few times with brilliantly shining green eyes and turns to look at you. He looks at you and blinks a few times, kind of sleepily.
Hello. I was told you might be able to help me. Sorry, I forgot his name.
His full name is Zelnarifkef.
Zelnarifka, protector of the halfling. I was told you might be able to help me.
I suppose I can, he says. And he kind of like takes a step toward you and kind of bends his enormous, like cranes his enormous neck down and kind of puts his head relatively close to you. His head's about 10 feet in front of you and above. He smiles with lots of teeth.
Nervous.
He blinks a few times and kind of cocks his head a little bit to the side. No, this isn't right.
What is it?
He kind of shakes his head, blinks a few more times. What are you doing here?
Coming to see you. I traveled quite far to find you.
Who sent you? He kind of like narrows his eyes.
Talked to Hildegard. Said you would be the person to talk to. I don't know if you know her. She's a...
He sort of snorts. I know her. He also sort of frowns, if such a thing is possible. He says, that does not answer my question, though. Who sent you?
No one.
You kind of hear him kind of grump, like you can hear a sort of a grumble or growl almost in his throat. And he kind of like, he finally, like for the first time, he actually stands up, like on all fours.
And he's immense.
Oh yeah, no, he would be considered, I think, colossal sized. He's probably well over 100 feet long.
Oh my god.
He kind of like holds his head up as if he's listening to something, and then his wings open up and everything goes dark.
Oh no.
All the lights go out, and you feel like the wind from his wings whoosh over you, and you find yourself back outside.
He cast me out.
What?
He cast me out. He asked who sent me, and I don't think he liked the answer.
He asked you a question. What?
He asked me who sent me, and then cast me out.
Did you ask if I could ask a question?
We didn't even get that far.
Wait, the one who was supposed to watch over all halflings, who you were told to seek out, Beardy, cast you out?
Yeah.
I'm gonna push Markus aside and bust through that door.
The door does not open for you.
Soul looks at the door and like goes to open it.
Stuck fast.
They knock.
Markus, a little bit in shock, but kind of incensed. And it's like, wait a minute. Everybody said he would help me.
I'm starting.
He walks up to the door and knocks just like Soul did.
There's no answer.
I'm starting Archie's timer.
Markus opens the door. It seems that the doors will relent for him.
Nope, the door will not open for you.
Soul has their hands over their mouth.
I yell up at the door and tower. I said, Zal, I was told you'd help me. Aren't you the protector of the halflings? I was told you would know me.
All right. So, while you're doing that, I want everyone in the party to make a perception check.
All right. Is Archie deployed yet?
Yeah, Archie's up.
All right.
I've been rolling like garbage today.
I got a 25.
I've been rolling really well today. I'm kind of worried about it. Oh, Archie's not rolling well today, though.
17 on my part.
Markus
yes,
still
I got
has
a
to roll.
total of 18.
Markus had a 20.
All right. So you guys roll, and the best roll so far is Soul with a 25. The 20 also succeeds on the check. The two of you can see something move at the very top of the tower. Something like leaps off the tower.
Soul looks up and starts to like back up a little.
It's just about 500 feet above you and closing fast.
Soul grabs Vera and starts running the other direction.
Markus looks directly at. Markus knows it's Zell. He won't hurt me. Markus looks directly at him.
Soul's just finding coverage so that they don't get smushed.
Where are you going? What's going on?
Run!
I'll look up and make sure to pull Karis out of the way.
Okay. Karis is just like standing there dumbfounded while you pull her away. So, just as it gets about 40 or 50 feet off the ground, like you can see as it gets closer, it is a gold dragon. As it gets closer to the ground, it flares its wings out, breaks speed, and like lands in front of the party with some pretty significant impact.
Soul falls to the ground, but they look so wide-eyed at him. Oh, we get to see a picture of him? Ooh! He pretty!
He appears like radiant with gold light. Markus.
Yes.
This is not the same dragon that you were just talking to. This is about half the size of the one you were just talking to.
Markus is still rather incensed. We came all this way, and everybody's been telling him, so Markus is kind of peeved off a little bit. But obviously going to show the utmost respect. You're not Zell.
No, I am not.
Soul starts to get up and walk over.
Why was I cast out? Why? I was told that Zell was the protector of all halflings.
Zell is the protector of all halflings.
Then why was I cast out?
Is it not obvious?
Markus looks all over himself. I'm fairly certain I'm a halfling.
You are mistaken.
Then what is he?
He wears the skin of one, as if it is some sort of insult.
Soul takes a step away from Markus.
Markus is confused, but still rather incensed by this.
This halfling, or whatever you believe him to be, has come a very long way and struggled very hard, only to look for answers. He has done much good and comparatively little harm.
The halfling standing before me is Garbin Shortfellows. He looks straight at Markus as he says this.
Who?
Wait, what? That's what your name is?
No,
That's the body, Soul says out loud. I believe that's the body. Am I mistaken?
You are not.
What?
Garbin was an adventurer. He was lost 400 years ago.
Then why do I know me as me?
He kind of like looks down at you and sort of sneers. I do not understand the nature of the creature before me, but I knew Garbin, and you are not he. You wear his face as an insult.
It is not as an insult.
I wear no person as an insult. I am me. I am Markus Cupside.
Cup size?
Cupside. Oh god, Beardy. I had a whole long title name.
Markus Cupsize Beauregard Q Kazoo III.
No, I had a whole. I was a owl bear, the bane of an owl bear.
Right, Owlbear Slayer, High Priest of whatever.
Yeah.
I
go into that whole thing.
No, you go into the whole thing,
I know
and he
who I
stands
am.
there and slowly and quietly just blinks at you. These are lies.
Then I do not have any ill will towards anyone. Can you help me find out who I am then? If what you say is true, help me find out who I am so that I'm no longer an insult from what you say this body.
He snorts, and like a puff of smoke comes out of his nose. I will discuss this with my father. There's a flash of gold light, and he's gone.
Soul just looks so defeated. You're kidding me.
Don't worry, Soul. We will figure this out, and you will get your question too. Markus is pissed. Markus is not shooken for anything. He's just pissed.
Lovette as well.
Soul goes back to the door and, like, sadly has their hand.
Why do you need to talk to him so bad?
He's the oldest existing... He might know a way that I could fix my village. He might know why it even needs protecting.
Shouldn't your family know that?
They won't answer me!
Then how is that your problem?
Because if I don't find a way to solve this, I'm stuck.
Stuck doing what?
Living in the same house, protecting a village that I don't even know what I'm protecting it for.
Why do you have to do that?
Because it's part of my bloodline.
Why does that matter?
Why does it matter to you?
I just want to know. There's no reason that you need to do something if you do not want to. You're
trying
not
to find
required.
Yes, but what if there's a reason something is needing protecting and no one's telling me? I'm hoping the person, the being that has existed almost the longest time here might have an answer so I can figure out a way to change it so it's not just me that has to protect everyone. It can be everyone who protects everyone.
Shouldn't your family be the one that tells you?
I already told you. I asked them. They won't.
Then it must not be important.
Soul slaps Vera.
Oh, nice.
Soul starts to walk away.
There is a rumbling sound. The ground begins to shake slightly.
I'm gonna pull out my crossbow.
Oh, good. There is a distortion in the air nearby, and in a flash of gold light, another dragon appears. This one looks like this, and it looks like it is not very happy.
How many dragons are there in this place?
My entire family resides here.
Soul, goes and taps Markus on the shoulder.
And I suppose all of you have a problem with this fine gentleman here.
My eyes have not left Zell's. I don't know, did they do a whole bowing?
What, the dragon?
Yeah. Do they buy into that kind of stuff?
Well, they might. Yeah, no, he's not going to bow to you. He just appeared in a
I'm
flash of golden light.
This is Zell Narivkef. He is the Lord of Merriment and Protector of the Halfling. Please show the utmost respect.
Soul kneels down. Dragons, do they speak in Draconic?
They speak every language.
Every language, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, they have True Tongue. However, they prefer people to speak to them in Draconic as a sign of respect. You would.
Soul's gonna do that.
I'm not gonna make you roll that because you probably get it because your knowledge is so high already. Anyway, he's actually going to speak, and he says, "I apologize for my otherwise foul mood. I'm typically more inclined to be polite to guests. However, it's not often you see the corpse of an old friend bandied about in front of you."
I'll put my crossbow away, and I'll begrudgingly kneel as well.
Good idea.
Karis kind of winces at that too.
So Soul touches Markus and uses tongues on him.
Okay, Markus, you can now understand every language for the next 60 minutes.
I recommend Draconic.
Speak in Draconic to him. I understand why I was cast out, but I know me as me. From what people claim is I'm not me. I know myself as a halfling. If you are the protector of halfling, even if may not be one that you know, I need your help. Can you help me find out who I am and what has happened to me? If for no other reason than to, if what is said is true, remove me from and lay to rest your friend.
I will answer that with another question. Do you remember the name of your wife?
I'm going, I say that name.
Okay, and that was Marcus's wife?
Yes.
Okay, so you say that, and he, puffs out some flame from his nostrils. He does not like your answer.
What offends you about my answer? That is the name that I know. That was my wife from where I came from. My 2 children. Why does this offend you?
Because they are lies.
What? This is who I am. This is who I know to be.
And you are mistaken.
Then can you help me? What you're saying...
If nothing else than to put the corpse of my friend to rest, yes, I will help you.
Thank you.
Garben Shortfellows died 400 years ago. He was an adventurer. His last adventure sent him north to the Deadlands, and he never returned.
I see. That feels...
That is my
so
first memory.
obvious.
That was my first memory, is outside of the Deadlands, in the Edge. I essentially give him all that I know. The dreams, the memories.
He's
in as vivid detail as I can give.
Okay, you explain the dreams and the memories to him. He moves his head down and stares directly into you as you explain all this. He kind of turns his head this way and that as he listens to what you say, until finally he says, I have heard enough. I know what you are. What I do not know is who pulls your strings.
What am I?
You are a lost soul.
Lost soul?
He nods.
If you forgive my ignorance.
You are a divided being. Most creatures have a body and a soul. They are linked intrinsically until death. At that point, the soul leaves and goes to the afterlife. The body decays and fades. You are a lost soul in a stolen body.
Well, how did I become lost?
That is what I would like to find out. The ability to do this, or to create a being like you, is ancient and dark. There are few who ever lived that could pull off such a feat.
And so if this list is small, you probably know of who could possibly do it.
Perhaps
Are there
I
any
do.
left alive or rumored
Some.
to be alive? Are they controlling me? I don't feel compulsed to do anything. I've never heard any voices to tell me to do anything. I've only had my own will.
Soul looks concerned.
You have a choice. You can either embrace this and understand your true nature, or you can deny this, and I can attempt to fuse you into one being. Think on it.
You haven't told them all, so...
So wait, the choices are my soul fused into this body,
That's an option, yes.
or
Keep on doing what
recognize
you're
that
doing.
and keep on doing what we're doing.
Try
Not
to find
anymore.
your...
Not exactly.
Okay.
Because before you
Or-
had no idea what was going on, and he seems to understand what you are. So if you're willing to go down that path, he may be able to explain what you're actually capable of.
And that's the other option.
Right. And that's the reason why so many supernatural beings are a little bit wary of you.
I want to find out who I am.
Well, that's exactly it. That's
You're saying
exactly
that's the option.
That's the question that we're asking you. Who are you? Are you Garben Shortfellows, the halfling adventurer that died 400 years ago? Or are you something else? Because Markus, as a concept, is a fiction.
Okay, I'd like to know, would I lose what any memories that I have, or what little knowledge I have? I do remember.
No.
Then I don't want to be fused. I'm just trying to clarify the two options.
Sure.
He fuses me, or the other option is accept that Markus is a lost soul and go down that path.
Yeah, basically.
Then I would go with the second option because I can accept it if it fits with what everybody's saying. I just need to know that there's something so that everything becomes clear.
Do you want to know what you are?
Yes.
This might be your only chance to become, like, a person with a soul. It might not be a thing you can fix once you find out. I think that's what's on offer here.
Zell awaits your answer.
Oh, God.
He's offering to fuse you into one being and become essentially Markus / Garben, right? And live out your life as a halfling. The other option is to find out what you actually are, and that would preclude that from ever being a possibility.
I would say I'd rather know and do what good with it that I can. Because as you saw in my alignment, I'm a chaotic good. May not always be what you want, but it's always working for the best. I'm going to go with that option. While being whole is one thing, if something is pulling dark strings that I may be able to better combat by knowing, I'd rather do it that way than taking the easy way out.
Very well. The rest of you, stand behind me.
Oh, okay. And Soul grabs Vera.
I think Vera already left to go back to the town.
You're gone.
Oh, come the fuck out of there. Okay.
Beardy.
Well, I kind of
By the way,
slapped
Beardy.
her, so...
Oh, right. Yes. All
You know
right.
me.
So the rest of the party moves away and gets behind Zell, and he kind of rears up, and you see him inflate his lungs. He flares his wings out, and he's, like I said, he's fucking enormous. And he sucks in a whole bunch of air, and you feel like this low growl emanate from inside him. And he rears his head down, and he breathes this jet of white flame.
Oh no!
And it streaks across the ground, and it washes over Markus. Markus, make a will save. Well, rather, I'll give you the option. Do you want to make a will save?
No.
Okay.
I want to know who I am.
Right. In that case, you feel your body slump and fall to the ground. However, you're still standing up. if that makes any sense. You're still standing there, but you feel your body slump to the ground. You can look down and see your own body.
Shit.
As the jet of white flames start to recede, the rest of you can look over and you see what appears to be an ethereal black figure that looks like it's wearing a black robe, floating in the air above Markus's body. Pinpoints of silver light drip off of this thing and sort of break off and fade into almost like a glittering shimmer. It has a cloaked face that just looks on into a void. If you actually look into where its face should be, it's just darkness.
Is Markus a revenant?
I turn my whatever my face is towards Zell. What am I?
You are a lost soul, an unbound essence.
But how am I able to do the things I'm able to do?
So as you're saying that, you also feel yourself growing colder and colder, and that sense of like when you're away from people, you know how I would say you kind of felt more lethargic and a little bit down? You feel that like rushing up. Like it's becoming like more and more serious. You sort of like feel your extremities becoming numb.
I look at Soul and say, help.
Soul runs over, I think. What do I see?
You see this ethereal black figure floating over Markus's body on the ground.
Is there a spirit Markus, or is Markus the black figure? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Well, he seems to be the black figure, and the body on the ground appears to just be passed out or dead Markus.
Okay, Soul runs over to the body, and they, like, crouch down and they look up at the figure. Soul's by the other halfling's body, I guess, because it's technically it was never Markus's.
It's Garbin Shortfellow's body.
Yeah. So Soul looks that over and then looks up at the hooded figure and then looks back up at Zell. And what can he do? He's just floating there. What is this?
He will fade away soon without a vessel.
The corpse. What's her name?
Karis, Alpha.
Kelly's?
Karis is sort of like in shock at all this.
Bring Alpha here, please.
Zell just like gestures. He like points back at Markus's body Garbin's body on the ground. Continue puppeting that.
So I just go into the body?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I was so ready for Markus to suddenly just be a human for the rest of the campaign.
Oh, no, yeah. Well, you never know. So you go back into the body of Garbin Shortfellows, and it feels like a comfortable shoe.
Oh, that's freaky.
Soul swiping away Markus's hair and just looking at him, or Garbin's. Soul is very confused.
Markus coughs and looks over at Karis and goes, "Oh, is this enough excitement for you?"
Karis just like nods. Zell says, "This does not answer the question that I still have about the situation, and that is, who is benefiting from your existence? Who sent you from the Deadlands, and why? There's more to you than you yet realize, and more to you than I can see. I only hope that the rest of these people with you keep you in check."
They're my family.
Good. Then perhaps I have nothing to worry about.
Soul lets Markus lay on the ground where he's at, and they walk over to Zell, and they look up at him. And in Dragonic, they ask, "Would you happen to know who I am?"
He looks at you and blinks. "You wear the token of the Protector House of Presidium."
I have some questions about that, if you'll let me.
He snorts out some white smoke. "Go ahead."
Soul does not flinch and is looking unblinkingly at him.
"Your line is well known to me."
What is my line protecting village from? Or protecting from, or the village from it, or it from the village? I don't know. What is the reason for this?
Understand that there are forces in play that even I cannot contend with.
I just want to know why.
The magic that empowers your bloodline is ancient and strong. I can tell you one thing, but I imagine it will only deepen the questions you have. If that is knowledge you seek, I can grant it.
It's my best lead. Yes.
Very well. Then I need you to understand your bloodline does not protect Presidium.
Then what is it protecting?
Much more. That is all I can say.
Soul nods solemnly.
But you certainly know more.
Is there a way where I could change it to where it's not just my bloodline, but everyone?
He slowly shakes his head no.
Oh.
The nature of your duty will become clear.
Soul nods and bows to him. and then goes back to kneel next to Markus.
Understand, being. I know not what your true name is. You have a dangerous ability. You are unbound. In a world of creatures that are bound, be careful. I say that to your allies as well. Be careful with this one.
Soul looks back up at the dragon.
He's good, and we'll make sure of it.
He snorts. I hope for all our sakes that is the case.
May I ask another question about him?
He kind of looks to the side. I suppose you may.
How can he use these powers? Can he simply leave this body and take another?
He nods.
Whenever he wants?
He nods again.
And you granted him the ability to know how to do this?
I made him aware, and that is all that was required.
Soul nods. And Soul looks back at Markus and looks him in the face.
Are you okay?
Said I well, I came looking for answers, and I didn't find all of them. But
I don't think
some.
either of us did.
What fun is there in finding the answer?
Soul smiles and ruffles his hair.
Yeah, that's true.
Plus, new ability?
Yeah, I guess we'll have to try it out at some point, but with safety, yes?
Well, of course.
I'm gonna go over to Karis at some point.
Karis.
Kalis.
Karis is legit terrified right now.
Are you okay? Kalis, are you okay?
At least I can help you.
Stay away from me.
Oh.
Oh. What?
She takes a step back.
Soul kind of has Mark down enough to where they're in a position where they can keep Markus back if need be, and they're not exactly sure what's happening. Karis?
Keep it away from me. She takes another step back.
It's just Markus. It's just, he's different than we thought he was. That's all.
Kalis, what is the fate of? Just tell me.
She turned and just runs away, back toward the town.
Wait!
No.
I'm gonna run after her.
So I guess Soul is staying with Markus then, and just kind of watches them run.
Well, this is an odd pickle.
There's one thing you should know before you set out into the world. The snippets of memories you have. You know what I speak of?
Yeah.
That is all that remains of the souls when you devour them.
Oh!
Thanks for listening. As always, special thanks to Protagonist for the theme music, and Emily Roll for Fantasy for this episode's soundtrack. Please leave a like, or subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and leave a comment if you have any suggestions. Until next time.